the scars and all the lines on my face, they show the times I've abandoned my own life. Why? I can't breathe, I can't eat, so I just drink myself to sleep and embrace this morbid price. Maybe it's time to heal, maybe it's time to try, maybe it's time to deal with all the pieces in my life. Well, maybe I'll sober up, maybe before I die, maybe I'll finally deal with all the wreckage in my life. I'm older now, I'm breaking down. My regrets, they turn to dust. Soon enough they'll blow away. When I was young, I was dumb, but I was never strong enough. I wish I had the guts to say, maybe it's time to heal, maybe it's time to try, maybe it's time to deal with all the pieces in my life. Maybe I'll sober up, maybe before I die, maybe I'll finally deal with all the wreckage in my life. Maybe it's time. And this was self-inflicted. Yeah, I was on a mission to ruin everything in life. But now I'm so damn ready. Just take my hand, it's steady, and we will make it through the Maybe it's time to heal, maybe it's time to try, maybe it's time to deal with all the pieces in my life. Maybe I'll sober up, maybe before I die, maybe I'll finally deal with all the wreckage in my life. Maybe it's time. Maybe it's time. Maybe it's time. Maybe it's time. Maybe it's time.
Even if I fucked up, please remember all the times I did my best for you. And even if you forget that, then please remember all the times I make you smile.
The following opinion and comment on this show do not reflect the opinions of the staff, management, ownership of FFN Radio Network. The host of the show is not a physician, a therapist, or a counselor. His thoughts are his own and his alone, and not the opinion of FFN Radio Network. Welcome to Unbox Thoughts with Nicholas Parsons.
Welcome in, everybody, to yet another Monday of Unbox Thoughts. We are on episode 16, and I could not be happier to have all of you here sharing each and every episode with me. Guys, we are growing here. We're becoming such a huge family, and I could not be any more appreciative of that. I know every week I come on here and I say we're getting bigger and bigger and bigger. The last 2 weeks, I have been completely overwhelmed with the reposting of every video, the sharing, the comments, the love. Thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. Guys, I just want to touch up on something real quick. Last week we aired the very first movie here on FFN Radio Network. We all sat down and we watched Tuesdays with Maury. I think coming into the 15th episode that was probably a great move. I'm still proud that we made that decision. I say we because it was a we thing. Talking to you guys, seeing if it would be a good idea, if you guys would even be interested in doing it. And the fact that the views were just overwhelming, I appreciate it. I don't ever go through and look at the views directly from the day it aired, but something about last week, it made me want to do that. And when I did, just from the starting views, guys, you did amazing, and I hope you all enjoyed it. And plus, it was a good downer time for me as well, personally. I just want to share with you guys that, guys, you know how we all have, we all have those down days, right? And I suffer from, along with my manic bipolar and stuff like that, I suffer from seasonal depression. And nothing is worse than February for me, especially between the 13th and the 15th of February. I don't know if you guys noticed, if I ever shared this with you guys, but before I was born, my mother and biological father, my brother Sean, was supposed to be born, and he didn't make it. This happened on February 13th of 1988. If you fast forward to February 15th of 2012, that's when my father had passed away. Biological son, biological father, and I was always skeptical of Valentine's Day as it was, just because of my mother, losing my brother and stuff. It was always so much more important for me to be there for her. But then when my father had passed away on the 15th, some years later, I've always had like this scary feeling of the 14th. Got Sean on the 13th, my dad on the 15th. There's a day missing there, so not that I'm saying it could be this year, or next year, but I've just always been very skeptical on what if my day just so happens to be Valentine's Day. You know what I mean? So every time the day goes around, and I'm not even saying anything to do with me to make that happen personally, but God forbid, like, if I got so stressed out or something, end up overwhelming myself too much and have a heart attack on Valentine's Day. Well, this is what I think of around that time, and I try my best, and it's so important to me to distract myself from that thought, just because it's just absolutely crazy. You know what I mean? It's almost just, I don't know. That's just happened. So I just want to say thank you so much for everybody for even supporting me through make sure I'm all right through that rough patch. So having said that, I just wanted to explain that to you guys and just let you know how much it means to me for being there for me. It means a lot. I can't thank you guys enough. You guys are what really makes every day better for me. So having said that, guys, we come here every week and we never really have any topics per se, right? I'm asked all the time, Nick, what are you going to talk about on Monday? I'm really looking forward to your show and stuff. And usually my response to you is going to be, tune in. You're just going to have to see for yourself. Because a lot of the time, like, I really don't know exactly what I'm going to talk about on an episode, right? Usually it's a conversation I have with somebody, or as I've said before in the past, my mother watches The Talk, and I honestly got to say, like, a few of the topics that was brought up here on Unbox Thoughts really was sparked from that show just because it clicks something, right? We all have certain conversations with people, and usually it sparks a thought in the back of our brain, and then what? It starts to become an unboxed thoughts, So I want to talk to you guys today about people with mental health issues or addiction. What are ways that we could try to get these people help? All right. And I've had a couple of discussions with some people throughout this week about, possibly where I'm going to go with this. And I've come to the conclusion that this is Unboxed Thoughts on the FFN radio network. For those of you who don't know, FFN stands for Far From Normal. And I think Unboxed Thoughts really fits the category to be on a network like this, because you never know what you're going to get. You may have an idea, but you never know what we're going to get at the end of the day. So first of all, how many of you people know of somebody personally, even if it's yourself, struggling with addiction or mental health? So I always tell people that, I think it was episode 3, I touched on this a little bit. Guys, our brains are really only are trained. 80% of the people's brains are trained only one way, right? When people go from baby to adult, you pick up different things around you in life, and then you start off as a follower, and then hopefully later on in life you end up becoming your own leader. You end up leading your own path, right? So guys, there's a lot of people out there who don't know how to deal with anybody with mental health illness. Either it's because they've turned a blind eye on it, or they know of somebody going through it and they don't know how to deal with it, right? And a lot of the times, us people needing help, when we get people like that, we can't blame them. All right, we can't blame them because they're only processing one thing and one thing only. It's their normal, average, everyday thing. It's an autopilot thing, right? We can't blame people for being on autopilot because they're so used to doing the exact same thing. So that's why I cannot stress enough, right, that if you can go through all that, right? And you really care and love somebody, you care for their safety, you want them to be okay in life, all right? I think it's very important that, and I stress it all the time, to try to look at things from different perspectives, different points of view. That's why it's very important for us to put our feet in other people's shoes, to try and feel what they're feeling. Or if not, you reach out to somebody to see how we can get those people help, right? Um, so it's a going outside your comfort zone thing. Okay. So I was talking to somebody before the show. I watch her lives all the time on TikTok, and I think that's what really sparked today, because she just so happened to be the third person within literally only a couple of days where I tended to have this certain conversation with. All right. When we know somebody is hurting so much, it's like we try to be there for them as much as possible to make sure nothing bad happens. But what happens when you guys have a conversation with somebody like this and then they end up going ghost? I will tell you this. Anybody who's suffering from mental health illness, drug addiction, okay, they want help. 9 out of 10 of them want help. All right. We talk about all the time on this show that because we see things repeatedly, it happens all the time, that there's a lot of people that ruin it for others, right? It goes in, that particular topic goes in every episode that we could have here. All right. No matter which way we look, in any way, shape, or form, there's gonna be that one asshole in the crowd, and you're gonna ruin it for the rest of us. So having said that, okay, I tell people all the time that anything you get on this show comes from my life personally, my experience, my opinions. All right. And then I'm just throwing you guys out tools. All right. I'm just throwing you guys out tools. And then you could either try it the way that I did, but also keep in mind that not every situation is the same, or use these tools that I give you as a way for you to put your own puzzle together and then reach out to that person and get them help. All right. I tell you guys all the time, in my situation, especially this last time, me and my mother do coffee dates. That's one of the, we would do our coffee date, and then we would go for our walks. All right. And my mother knew, how bad I was. Like, here I am telling her all the time when she's asking, Nick, everything okay? Is everything fine? Are you good? Is there anything I can get you? I'm afraid. You think I'm gonna fucking tell you the truth? Yeah, Mom, everything's fine. It's a fear. Okay? It's a fear of really in the back of your mind, you're saying, Mom, Joe, Larry, whatever, I really need help. But then what happens? What would my life become of if I go and get help? Right? There is so much, guys, that we have to worry about when it comes time to getting help. But then later on along the line, I hope you look deep down inside yourself and then think, well, if I wouldn't have done half the things that I did, all right, because I tell people all the time, when it comes to me, nobody ever forced, me to do half the things that I did. You know what I mean? I came into a drug addiction just because I thought it was going to make my relationship stronger with somebody. Okay. And then, so on and so forth. It just gradually progressed. It was almost like, well, if I can do it with this person, you know what I mean? I'm going to do it with this person. But we were not worrying about any repercussions down the road, right? Because we live a free life. We live a free life and we can make any decision that we want. Any of them. But whether if it's the next day, a year later, certain things could still be brought up to the present day. It all reflected on the decision that you, in fact, chose to make. And now, if you're able to put people through the hurt that you put them through, making the decision that you made, and now you want to sit here and mope about it as if you're the victim, you hurt such and such. Guys, it's okay. I'm telling you, it's okay. But only by doing one more thing. You put yourself through that, right? You've done these things. Now it's time for us to step up yet to another challenge and make things better. And every hole dug was dug by you, and you alone, or them, depending on whoever's watching this and whatever you guys are going through. Okay, as every situation is different. But guys, for me, all right, and this was a biggie. It was my mother and my kids where I needed to get help. I was hurting them enough by doing what I was doing. And this is how I had to put my mind. You're already hurting them from the decisions that you made, Nick. Now it's time for them to hurt a little more. But at least now they're going to hurt a little more by me going out and doing the right thing, actually getting help, using my resources, using my family, my small handful of friends that I had at the time to help me get to where I needed to be. And let me tell you, we just made 6 years. All right, I went away December 9th of 2016. I don't count my sober date. December 9th, I don't count my sober dates until the 10th. Because when I was going through the motions in the court on December 9th, I was up in the clouds. All right, I've told you guys before that when my youngest son was born, I was already like in hell with my addiction. And this is where I just want to say that I believe in procrastination, guys. I know. You're all sitting there like, what the fuck? You believe in procrastination? Why? So you could just have it fucking dragged out all the time? No. No. And this is where a lot of other people ruin it for these types of people. Because here's how I think of procrastination, right? If I go and at least say I'm going to do something over and over and over again, guess what? It's still in my mind. It's still on the mental to-do list, right? It's still on the mental to-do list. And as long as I at least get to it, that's all that matters. I don't know if I ever told you this, but it happened the day that my son was born. That's when my procrastination happened. But listen, when the procrastination happened to me, that was even the first time I ever thought about getting clean. Because a couple of months before that, guys, I had the world by its bootstraps. I had everything that I ever needed. Life was going well. I was working in group homes at the time, taking care of people with developmental disabilities. Right, I was doing God's work. I was giving back. I liked working in the healthcare field. As long as I knew I was doing something within my life that was helping people, that's all that mattered. And then I ended up taking a wrong turn drastically. And there was a bunch of different things. I had the death of my father. I had found out that I was going to be a dad. I committed myself to a mental hospital way before that. I ended up looking at when my kid's mother ended up telling me, and my mom, like, hey, you were going to be a dad. It seemed like all these great life events like were happening all at once, right? And it was a lot to take on. It was like my father had died, but I was with my kid's mother. We had our older son, Miles, already. I raised him since he was 2. He's not my biological son, but that's all I wanted. I at least had that little family. That's all I wanted to work on. I'm just getting over my whole drinking habit because I stopped drinking for a little bit. This is before I ended up going back on opiates, right? And then all of a sudden, boom, hey, Nick, you're going to be a dad. And I'm sitting here fucking panicking. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. I'm trying to just put down the bottle, but now it's just like I lost my dad. And now all of a sudden I'm going to be a dad. And it was just too much. Too much. I had this one in this ear, that one in this ear. And it's like, what the fuck? Slow down. Stop. If there's any shot in me taking on this challenge, I need to go away for a little bit. All right, this was me telling my kid's mother and my mom and people, I need to go to St. Anne's. If I go to St. Anne's, I'm going to sit in the ER for a little bit. They're going to find me a bed somewhere. All right. And then I went away, and then, everything was great. For a little bit after that. You know what I mean? And then, along the lines, that's when I ended up picking up my opiate addiction, guys. All right, something I never wanted to happen. I was burning myself out working 14, 16, 20-hour work days. You know what I mean? I was having my first actual born son coming into the world. You know what I mean? There was just a lot into it. Hey, Ashley, welcome in. It's all right. You're not late. As I always say, you're not late. You're just early for the next time. So, in regards, you're basically already early for next week's episode. Good for you, girl. But, yeah, guys, they're not easy decisions to make. But what happens when we have a lose-lose situation on our hands? Now it becomes a sacrifice. Now we need to pick the lesser of the evils. Right? So, that's about me. After this commercial break, because we're already coming up, guys, on 32 minutes. We're on 32 minutes already. After this quick break, I want to touch up with you guys on exactly, I'll read through the comments, but I want to talk to you guys exactly about different ways on how we can deal with these situations if you're ever at home put in these types of predicaments. All right, so make sure you guys utilize the comment box. If there's any questions or something like that where you want me to touch up on, drop them in the comment section. We're getting better and better every week. Drop them in the comment box. Have them ready for me for when we come back on, and we'll talk about it right after this break.
Hey, this is Jerry from the Neutral Corner on FFN Media. Every Thursday night, 7 to 8, catch my show live. We are talking with legends, we're talking with professionals, we're talking with amateurs, we're also talking about gyms and the different programs they have. You can catch us live on FFN Media, 7 to 8 p.m. Not only can you catch us live, you can actually ask questions in the comments and interact with our guests. Hope to see you then.
Hey guys, Nick Parsons here. Come check my show Unbox Thoughts out. Live every Monday from 7 to 8 p.m. on the FFN Radio Network page.
Why do you believe what you believe? Because at some point in your life, you trusted the information that somebody was giving you. And that someone you trusted told you that a car was a car, a tree was a tree, a bird was a bird, the blue stuff above you is the sky. And that's the way that we began to determine what we believe to be a fact. Most of the things that we believe to be a fact in our lives are told to us through our stories or the news that we hear. So my question would be, if they were deceiving you with the stories they tell you, would you be able to recognize that?
Welcome back, guys. Everybody enjoy your piss, shit, snack, cup of coffee break. I hope so. Hey, Steph, how are you? So, listen, guys. There's numerous ways where we could help people. Okay? And I just want to say one more time, because I'm over here and I'm just dwelling on it. For anybody watching who may be turning around saying, "Yeah, fuck you." You know what I mean? Everything's fine. I don't need to. Listen to me. If you're that stubborn of a person, I don't blame you. Okay? I said already that 80% of humans all think the same way. And nothing is to be blamed on you. That's okay. That's your autopilot. But let's say, God forbid, now down the road, you hit a certain life event that you've never seen, heard of before, or you're used to turning a blind eye with it, and now all of a sudden you're fucked because you don't know how to do it, or you give somebody the wrong fucking answers that they don't want to hear, or you're going about it the wrong way. How much of a piece of shit would you feel like by you thinking you had the answers, and then you wake up the next morning and you get a fucking phone call? I've had that phone call, people, before. On more than one occasion. And that's the thing about us addicts in general. Okay, I'm not even talking about a mental health thing. Okay, that's the thing about us addicts, is that when you're an addict, you meet other addicts. And then you become friends or acquaintances with those other addicts. And then you find out that other addicts are fucking dying each and every fucking day. Or you have somebody going through such a bad time with depression, and it's fucking eating at them, and you don't know what to do, but you know they need help. My advice to you is either A, read up on this shit, because let me tell you something, it's fucking real, guys. All right, it's here and it's fucking live. Well, you're all sitting at home thinking if there'll be another fucking strain of COVID or some other bullshit fucking going around. Well, let me tell you something, what ain't gonna go away. All right, our depression. All right, in most cases, it won't. Your anxiety. The fucking evil demons that you wake up and fucking battle every single day, they're not gonna go away because of the trauma we had to live through, the trauma we put people through, the trauma people put on us. But I can promise you this, with every fiber of my being, it can subside. It can ease a little bit, so we can have a little more of those peaceful days. All right? We all come from different areas of the globe. Everybody in this chat now, we come from different parts of the globe. And there's ways. Either read up on it, get some advice. I tell people all the time, you can reach out to me. All right? I'm certified in these things. You go right up on the Unbox Thoughts website. All right, on my Facebook page. During COVID, for shits and giggles, I took my life coach certifications. Okay, it's not to be a know-it-all. It's not to, tell you things that you don't want to hear. No, I'm here to tell you the truth, tell you my story, my life experiences. All right. And let me tell you, it was probably one of the best things that I ever did, other than becoming a father and then finally getting help and then coming here in front of you guys. All right? Because of my mother, because of my kids, I went and got the help that I severely needed. When I got home that last week in rehab, I was so fucking motivated because I felt like I had all the tools. I was ready to come home and just use them and put them all into action and do something with myself. But what happens when I walk out? Now I'm out the gate. I'm home. Why don't I feel safe no more? I was just inside fucking jail or a rehab facility with all the motivation in the world, ready to go and fucking put it into action. And that's where it all comes into play, when we come back on the streets. This is the real test now. All right, everybody thinks that the real test is going in and getting help. But there's so much that goes into it. That's maybe a quarter of it all. It's the work that you put in before going in and making the decision to go in. Then it comes down to the work that you put into wanting to better yourself while you're in the inside. And now, the big test. Here you go. You're free. See what you can do. And the fear is real. There's so much reading, guys. You can go to around here, and that's where I was getting at before. If you don't want to read upon it or something like that, I highly suggest you do. But look for a local facility that deals with these things. There's plenty of people that would gladly give you advice or something like that inside these mental health facilities. Okay? An intervention. The thought of an intervention. Let me tell you something. A lot of people are scared to do interventions. Want to know why? Because 8 or 9 out of 10 of them, when we walk into that room and we see all you guys, we're threatened. We're threatened. We're scared. We don't know what the fuck is gonna go on during this conversation. And let me tell you something, guys. Kudos to all you people who would have an intervention, but let me prepare you for this. I just said that the person going through the intervention, they're gonna have a lot of thoughts already running through their minds, right? This is gonna be your test to see how much you love them and how much you care for them. And this is also going to show them how much you love and care for them. It could all be bad. But like I always like to tell you guys, everything's going to get bad before it gets better. Every mess, if you do it the right way, will get cleaned up. But it's going to get messier along the way before it gets cleaned up. So that person that you're coming to or going to get help during an intervention, you need to be strong, man. And I highly suggest, because every situation is not the same, you get ready to deal with that fucking spurt. You get ready to deal with that fucking fight, because let me tell you something, it's coming. And if you succeed at that and whatnot, you're gonna hurt just as much as the person going away is gonna hurt. You're gonna feel like a bag of shit. But let me tell you something, if that all goes well, which I hope in every situation, when that person comes home and it's all basically said and done, and they're able to look at you all dead in your eyes, say thank you. Thank you for fighting for me. That pain and suffering that you had to go through 30 days ago, 60 days ago, 90 days ago, 120 days ago, I would hope to God that all becomes irrelevant to you. Because you know the person that actually did it. They went and sought help. And they really did come back a better version of themselves than what you've seen them before. And I tell people all the time, I still deal with my demons. Every day. And they all come in weird shapes and forms. Certain things, I could be having a good time with my parents or talking, having a good conversation with my kids or something, and then unfortunately a happy topic could be brought up, and it's from them, and it's not even meant to be sad, but it sparks something within my brain. So now all of a sudden I'm crying. I'm in pain. Why? Because of the pain that I put them through. Our depression and anxiety, it's so crazy on how it works because it can come in any form. If you just stop breakdown, crying, and having a good conversation with somebody, and they're like, wow, like, why are you crying? I didn't mean to make you cry. And so, it's not you. And when we say it's not you, it's our way of saying, like, yeah, it was you, but I get the fact that you didn't expect this to happen when you said it, because we were having a happy conversation. And if we find somebody that's bad enough in their addiction, my advice to everybody is, if you love them and you really want them to get help and at least start showing signs of their old self, do this. Bite your tongue. Bite your tongue, go fishing, and lure them in. Tell them what they want to hear until you get them in that position that you need them in. You can call it tricking them. You can call it fucking using them. These phrases usually sound bad on any other normal day. But guess what? It's not a normal day, my friends. Because that day is a special day. It's the day that we're going to start making moves to help this friend, to help that loved one, because you know what they're capable of, and you know of where they could be in life because you've seen it before. Okay? But just remember, situations like this are always going to... There's a good high chance that these situations are going to get worse before they get better. But you're not only testing them, You're testing your inner strengths too. And I like to tell people all the time, whether if you watch my show here on Mondays, okay, or if you watch me uh, on TikTok, if you have my social media pages, utilize them. Because guess what? I can't speak for everybody else. And I think this is why I can't live a normal life right now, is because of, in order to take care of somebody else, you need to take care of yourself, right? And for the most part, I am proud to sit here in front of all of you guys today and say, I'm doing exactly that. I feel like I'm taking care of myself in order so I can help everybody else out. That's why it's so important for me to take my mental health vacation, as I call it. Right? Everybody, for the most part in this chat, knows the second this show goes off the air on Mondays, from an hour or two before Unbox Thoughts airs, Nicholas is already getting mentally prepared for the topics at hand. Unbox show airs, I unleash those thoughts. And then afterwards, man, I'm so fucking drained. I'm drained. Because I share my story with you guys. And I tell you guys all the time. Somebody called me out on this the other day, but there's no other way for me to say it. I legitly, they say don't live in the past. I tell you guys all the time. To tell you guys these stories as accurate, as genuine, and authentic as it could get. I relive my life. I live in the past. What's up, Blaze Man? I can't hear. What are you saying? That was my producer, guys. That was Blaze Man. But yes, I have to get myself mentally in the past of these things that I have done or things that I had said to give you guys 110% of myself. And even if there was an Unboxed Door episode that airs and I'm only at 70% of myself, I want all of you to know that I will come here in front of you and give you all of that 70%. Because I say it all the time. People like me, because of the shit I have done, the fucking world does not owe me shit. The world don't owe me shit. I owe all of you guys this. And that's where my TikTok family comes in. All of you guys here in this chat, if you got me on TikTok, you guys are my therapy. Unboxed Thoughts is my baby and my therapy. And I get it all the time. What I see on TikTok is nothing on Unboxed Thoughts. And you're right, man. You are absolutely right. What you see on Unboxed Thoughts, you are not going to see on my TikTok live. You want Nicholas Parsons telling his story? You come on the FFN radio network and you hang out on me and listen. If you want my other persona, see me kicking back, relaxing, having fun, you go to TikTok for that. I might touch on a couple of things, but that's really like part of that's my mental vacation. And I can't thank you all every day, no matter where you come from. All right, I was talking to my producer before the show. After this show, we got 16 episodes. 3 more minutes. It'll be full hour, 16 episodes, 16 hours of content of unboxed thoughts. I want to start making DVDs for you guys. Wouldn't care which one is it doesn't care. I received 100 messages. Wow, guys. Holy shit. Yeah. Rascal's gonna be phenomenal therapy tonight. I would hope. Guys, we always experience something new here, man. And I'm gonna tell you this right now. I have never in my life on this network even seen a trophy pop up stating on the messages, man. And we did it together. You guys did it. I say it all the time, man. Without you guys, there would be no Unbox Thoughts. I had the idea, and I say it every once in a while, and I don't feel like I say it enough. We were only guaranteed 4 episodes here. But I've formed such a strong relationship with you guys that you guys make me comfortable. We've gotten to the point where I could sit here and talk to you guys and tell you anything that's on my mind and not be judged. And I can't thank you guys enough for that. I love you guys. Chad, I was talking to my producer.
Hey, this is Jerry from the Neutral Corner on FFN Media. Every Thursday night, 7 to 8, catch my show live. We are talking with legends, we're talking with professionals, we're talking with amateurs, we're also talking about gyms and different programs they have. You can catch us live on FFN Media, 7 to 8 p.m. Not only can you catch us live, you can actually ask questions in the comments and interact with our guests. Hope to see you then.
Hey guys, Nick Parsons here. Come check my show Unbox Thoughts out. Live every Monday from 7 to 8 p.m. on the FFN radio network page.
Why do you believe what you believe? Because At some point in your life, you trusted the information that somebody was giving you. And that someone you trusted told you that a car was a car, a tree was a tree, a bird was a bird, the blue stuff above you is the sky. And that's the way that we began to determine what we believe to be a fact. Most of the things that we believe to be a fact in our lives are told to us through our stories or the news that we hear. So my question would be, if they were deceiving you with the stories they tell you, would you be able to recognize that?
Yeah. So, as I was saying, this is ASMR for me. Sound of race cars. So, guys, yeah, I want to have DVDs made for you guys. After the show, me and my producer usually always get together and we talk different things out. My producer is fucking amazing, dude. My producer is absolutely amazing. I'm alright. I'm gonna be okay, Dark Wolf. But this is what my show is. Like, I've always said, if I have a stadium of 70,000 people and I can get through to one of them, I've done my job. And the fact of that, I have all of you in here on a weekly basis, and then I get to see you guys even more from another platform. It's really overwhelming because because I know I must be doing something right, or else you guys wouldn't be coming back. When you're so used to the negativity, or like, you know, the promises, the shit that you get, but you actually start finding people that are still coming back, it's amazing because a lot of us feel like we don't deserve it. Right? And then when there's people out there who say you do deserve it because you're making the right choices, you're doing the right things, it doesn't matter what I've done the last 6 years. Right? As long as I know within my mind, no matter how bad things get or good, as long as I don't go back to then, as far as my addiction goes, anyway, then every day is a success for me. And I'm not saying every day is easy, because it's not. It's bad enough everything else that I have to deal with upstairs. You know, to go and relapse or take a wrong exit somewhere, that's the least of it all right now. You know? So yeah, I want to make DVDs for you guys. We've got 16 hours of content. There's so much that we could all be, you know, experiencing together and stuff like that. Blaze Man, what is up?
Bud.
Can you
Can
hear
you hear me echoing?
Everybody
Everybody can hear me echo now.
Well, that's your problem, good sir.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Guys,
How are you?
I'm all right.
How are you? You doing
How are
okay?
you?
Okay. All
All
right.
right.
Good.
I just want
I
to
just
make
want
sure
to
you're
make sure
doing
you're
okay,
doing
bud.
okay, bud.
Yeah, we're doing good. Yeah, man.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep. Appreciate you.
Time.
Time.
Look at that. Hey, Blaze, man. Everybody popping up in the chat. Guys, he's been sick with COVID. Do you know last week, he told me he was sick and he still aired our show? I couldn't be more thankful for that. Man, sick in bed last week.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
All
All
right.
right.
You're a rock star.
Listen,
Listen,
I don't care.
your
your
show
show
got
got
aired.
aired.
I
I
canceled the
canceled
rest
the
of them.
rest of them.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not
I'm not
a very
a
liked
very liked
man right
man
now.
right now.
Well, let me tell you something. As far as I'm concerned, and I'm sure everybody up there in the chat, we're all very appreciative of you. And not for nothing, you know what? Last week we watched the movie, so
Right?
Right?
you know, we watched the movie.
I was laid
I was
back.
laid back.
Yeah, you know, can't ask for anything better than that.
I had to
I
do
had to
more.
do more.
Yeah. You're like, hey, yeah, can't today.
I love your audience,
I love
man.
your
That's all
audience,
I
man.
gotta
That's all
say.
I gotta
Go ahead,
say.
kid.
Ed,
Give a
get
few
through a
more
few
minutes,
more minutes,
and
and
we'll
we'll
call
call
it a
it
day.
a day.
All right, man. I appreciate you. That is dedication. That is dedication, and I couldn't be any more thankful. Every week I have more of a reason to, that motivation. You guys, the network, but yeah. We want to get some things going. I personally want to get some things going for you guys here on the network. As I said, this show it's my legacy, and I think if there's any particular favorite episode that you guys have had or whatever the case is, you guys could just pop in the DVD or whatever the case is and, just hang out with me, I guess, on a DVD and watch whatever you guys have wanted. But having said that, guys, you guys are absolutely amazing. And there's not one thing I wouldn't do for you guys. We all say that, I always like to say that my time is always available as long as you're willing to put in the time as well with me. We're all busy in our own different ways, and it's not being rude or anything like that, but it's like, if you're ready, then let's fucking do it. Anybody out there, utilize your resources. If you don't know, reach out to me. I'll do a little Google searching for you guys and see where I can help you guys out with on my end to get you guys whatever it is you need. I will do that for you. And now we're expanding, guys. I have Marcy here. Marciana, Marcy. It depends on which day you get one of the two. But I'd like to have her on the show. Marcy does ASMR. I know a lot of with the hearing of the noises and stuff like that. Sometimes people, I get it, but Marcy plays a big role on what you see the weeks after. Marcy, like me, we don't go live on Mondays, but man, when Tuesday comes and Sundays, I get that Marcy ASMR. You know what I mean? And it really helps. Just I'm at peace. I'm at peace. I'm so calm. I feel like I can let a lot of things go. She would never know exactly what she does for me internally unless if I sat there for a amount of time and actually explained it all to her. You know, it is. I want to have her on the show. Whether if it's a conversation, I want her to feel comfortable. So she can have a conversation with me. She can do her ASMR, whatever, just to have her on the show. That would be absolutely amazing. All right. We have other awareness groups reaching out now that want Unbox Thoughts in on it. Absolutely. Nobody really does this. This is what I do. Oh, well, you sound really excited to do that, good sir. Damn right I am. Want to know why? Because I'll put the work and effort into it and we'll make it a banger. Well, I'll share a freaking thing of tissues together. It's fine. That's what we're all here for. So, anything to help you and others. Great to know different coping tools. Absolutely. And that's where all of you guys come in. I've talked to you guys before. Um, I don't do therapy no more. Why? It's because now I'm already at the point where I've gone through my therapy. I've learned my coping tools, my coping skills. Now I'm putting them all into action as time goes on. And by listening and opening an ear to you guys, it helps. Older generation, younger generation. God, I was a freaking know-it-all at one point in time. But there's people out there who helped me that don't even know to this day that they helped me, just because I wasn't able to. I either wasn't brought up or I just didn't mention it to them because something had happened, whatever the case is. I still have a lot of thank yous to give out. But let me go through these comments real quick. Yeah, banger after banger after banger. Yes. I try. All right, guys. Any other questions? No, you guys are amazing. There's nothing I wouldn't do for yous. I promise. I told you, not everybody loves Mondays. I live for Mondays. No matter what my head is at before showtime and into showtime, motivational Mondays, man. What we do on Mondays sets the tone for the rest of the week. Remember that. We're all waking up, Monday. A nice weekend off, or I didn't do what I wanted to do this weekend in order to go back to work. Don't think of it like that. You start your Monday, the decision you make today, you get to Wednesday. Before you know it, it's hump day. Get through hump day, before you know it, it's Friday, and you just push to 4 or 5 o'clock, man, and then guess what? Do what you wanted to do or finish what you wanted to finish last weekend. It's all where we put our minds. It's all how we think about it. And exactly, thank you all for the kind words. Couldn't thank you all enough. So, until the next week, think about what I said. Let me know your thoughts. You could always message me. Put them down in the comments after the show airs. Share the show with other people. Let them know that they're not alone. Let them know we're all in this together. And I don't mean it from Pitch Perfect or whatever that stupid movie is. All right, I love the phrase, and then it makes my skin cringe when it's like we're all in this together. That's like from High School Musical or Pitch Perfect, whatever that movie is. Wrong. No. Us as a mental health community and getting over the struggle, we're all in this together. So until next week, guys, I love you guys so much. We just got done with episode 16 of Unbox Thoughts. I love and appreciate all of you guys. See you next week.
This is Jerry from the Neutral Corner on FFN Media. Every Thursday night, 7 to 8, catch my show live. We are talking with legends, we're talking with professionals, we're talking with amateurs, we're also talking about gyms and the different programs they have. You can catch us live on FFN Media, 7 to 8 p.m. Not only can you catch us live, you can actually ask questions in the comments and interact with our guests. Hope to see you then.
Hey guys, Nick Parsons here. Come check my show Unbox Thoughts out. Live every Monday from 7 to 8 p.m. on the FFN Radio Network page.
Why do you believe what you believe? Because at some point in your life, you trusted the information that somebody was giving you. And that someone you trusted told you that a car was a car, a tree was a tree, a bird was a bird, the blue stuff above you is the sky. And that's the way that we began to determine what we believe to be a fact. Most of the things that we believe to be a fact in our lives are told to us through our stories or the news that we hear. So my question would be, if they were deceiving you with the stories they tell you, would you be able to recognize that?
Now it's a car that they're just trying to keep on the track.